All right, well, I'm back. I pressed the wrong button on the phone, so it's going to come in two pieces, the video. Anyway, I'll take you out to the front. And when we first moved here, you take, I don't know, Roseanne wasn't very much into taking pictures when we came in. Even in the other house, she was kind of like very indecisive about it. Like I said, oh, smile, coming into the house. And yeah. That was just me, though. Okay, I'm back. But this is the outside. It might get a little bright now as I come out. That's the realtor sign, duh. All right, and this, well, we got a little story behind this one. That's our neighbor, Drew. That used to be a big parking lot at one time. And those were the model homes down on that side. Well, this is from the front. That's the main gate coming in, but I used to take pictures at the front and tell everybody that this was that was my driveway with the gate, and I'll show you the front. But that side of the house, the left side, was a neighbor came one day, the guy that owned the house, that bought the model home, and he came and I'll see if I could find the notch on the floor. And he had found out that, you could probably see it as I go closer, the number 6 is lot 6. So that's the line, that's lot 6, and then over here there's a cross in the thing. So that's actually a property line. So the plants, we argue, were actually on my side, but he was actually watering them. So I don't know, he got nasty with Roseanne, and I called him up on the phone and I told him, I gave him heck the first time, and then had told him to come to the house tomorrow morning to turn your water off because I'm digging up the plants and I'm moving your water lines. And that kind of quelled it for a little bit, and then renters came, they rented the house, and when they rented, I'm going to go to the front. When they rented it, they didn't care. So we kind of made a deal where I would take care of the plants. But I put this storm door up. We call it a steel door. It's not really a steel door, but anyway, put this up when I started working swing shift at TI, because I was afraid for Roseanne being in the house, and I had to put this medallion on the wall because I don't have to tell you what's behind there, right? You could just tell by the squashing of the hose spigot there, what was there, and but this was like John's hangout. All the time he would come out here and we would get into such differences with him about smoking pot outside and whatnot, and not much rooms on the side of the house. It's pretty much nothing. Me and Roseanne put this pipe together. She actually helped me. I'll take you into the back. I'll show you the backyard. We put a spa in the backyard, sorry. But that's the view from the side. And the question was why there wasn't a gate here. They always used to come from this side, park the car in the front. Instead of going that way, they would go this way into the house. That's why the rocks are all missing from there. And I was going to be spiteful and put up a gate anyway just to stop them from doing that, but I didn't want the expense, But that house far off on your 1 o'clock side, that's the model of our home. That house has been bought and sold about, oh my God, I don't even know how many times. I would say a minimum of at least 6 times since we bought the house. And that one was built, like I said, that was a parking lot at one time. And then this woman, Melissa, and I think Jim was her husband's name, They bought it. They did a shitload of work in the backyard and whatnot. And then one day they just moved. There's my buddy Drew's house. That was owned by an old man from Chicago. The house was broken into numerous times while it was empty because he had the house, but he never lived in it. And all the yard has, it's the same model as ours. It's just the back side of the house has another story on top of the master bedroom. The master bedroom in this house doesn't have anything on top of it. The game room kind of ends at the kitchen. And but that's it. But I was shocked. I mean, believe it or not, I could actually fit my truck in here. That's pretty amazing. I've never done that. I need to get something from here. But going back out. And then I had the rocks changed in the yard. There's my broken down box that I can't take because when the landscaper did the landscaping, he didn't put rocks underneath it, and I don't have enough. And I'm not going out and spending money on rock and just coming to bring it. But we used to have a lot of pots out here. We used to have 2 big pots in front of the driveway at one time. And I took them out about 2 weeks ago. Just, I don't know, they looked broken down and disheveled, and I figured instead of painting them and putting flowers in there, it'd be easier. But we used to have all these, I don't know what they were called, but they were bushes, and they were all over here, and they just grew wild and crazy. Roseanne hated them, so we pulled them all out. Desert landscape. And we put that thing in. It blooms when it wants to. And the pot right over there above the thing with the tree growing out of it, I just left it. It's, I don't know, it's a seedling from something, probably my neighbor's tree, who tends to grow so much on my side of the house. But all right, I'm gonna go inside and show you the backyard. Okay, we're back inside. I'm gonna show you the backyard now. The fireplace, I used to like to call it the gas company's revenue, because it used to waste so much gas. You could always tell when we used it, because it would be like cooking a turkey for a month. That's what the gas bill was. Okay, I'll put that over there. Okay, and this is the backyard. We put the pavers down, and then we got an umbrella, and that didn't help. So we put the pavers down up to, like, I guess this line right before the concrete, and we did that. And then we had there was still a little just plain old rock out here, and then we put the patio cover up, which, as you can tell, definitely helps a little bit. But I was gonna take that, but I think I'm just gonna leave it. That's the spa we put in, which we never really used. It was more of a rat haven, and now it's a scorpion haven. So, but I took the 2 pots from the front yard and I put them in the back. I used to have 2 pots out here one time, and we probably got pictures somewhere of it. And me and Anthony built these light poles. And we took these fixtures we got from Rick the Wreck's house, and we drilled holes and we put them in with nuts and bolts and ran wire down it, ran extension cords that you can see are still hanging around somewhere. And me and Roseanne bought that, I don't remember where, maybe in Walmart or Star Nursery or something. It used to have LED lights in it, but the kids were always constantly playing in it, and the dog drinking out of it. I don't even know if it works. That I got from Roseanne's brother. That one there. But this is the backyard. The tenant had gone and bought River Rock and just decided to put them around. Well, the landscaper came out here, and he kind of spread them around a little bit more. They look a lot better than they were before. But I did some work to the spa. It looked pretty good last week before it had the bird poop on it. And the canopy used to have a beautiful cover with a shade going around it and whatnot. And that thing constantly blew off. I either had to come out and take it off, or come out and put it on, or go into the neighbor's yard, because half of it was in the yard. And We bought that bench in Target. Roseanne bought it when we did the yard. The first time we did it was before we had the patio cover. We put the pavers down. We had a big table out here, and I think it was Memorial Day, I guess. And we had her brother over and her mother and whatever, and we had a barbecue out here, and it was really nice. Me and Anthony worked like diligently for 3 days to get all the rock that was in front of the house. I think we bought 7 tons or something, and we wheelbarrowed it in and bucketed it in, and I was still left with about 2 tons of rock outside the front. And finally the HOA got to me, and my God, it had to be about 4 months later, and I took the rock out of the front yard and I just dumped it, all the rock that was in the front of the house in a pile, and I put it in the front, and I changed the color. But like I said, I since have changed that too. And that has to go. The ladder we got from, I don't know, Anthony, I don't know the guy's name, but he had a company here and we borrowed it, and he never got it back. Never got it back. But I put lights up on the side of the house, on both sides of the house. Again, when I worked at TI, it just made it a little safer for Roseanne to be here. And I'm going to show a picture of this side. This is Rat Haven over here. This is Rat Haven. And that's the thing that's probably going to give me an inkling tomorrow, is this thing. Because it looks all wet by the wall. I may just get some of those rocks in the back and do that. But anyway, this is the thing from the side. Again, the lights and that DirecTV thing, whatever. And that's kind of about it here. But anyway, oh yeah, that's right. After the photo, we bought the patio cover, and I did it all by myself on a really hot day, and I had a Mexican style hat on. It was like a golfer's hat. It looked like a Mexican landscaper thing. But we put this thing up, and we had some. It made a difference. My granddaughter used to like to come out here, Emma, and play. And then when John was born a little bit later, it wasn't the same, you know. And there used to be chalk marks all over the floor, and I didn't wipe that up either. But I guess from weather and whatnot, it's pretty much gone now. But it's not level, but it worked. I kind of pitched it away from the house. I made an excuse that, it takes the water away. Not that there was going to be any water, but that was about it. But there was no trees here when we moved here. The neighbor, I don't remember her name, we were both trying to save our houses during the recession. And she, I don't know if she had them put in or the people put after. But anyway, I remember when they were, my God, they were barely above the wall, and they were tiny little twigs. And I don't know what shade it helps, but I guess it helps a little bit because some of the yard is shaded. Oh, and that rose bush, the lady across the street, Melissa, gave to us, and we planted it there, and it's still going. That one, the one next to it to the left, I don't know. I guess I'm assuming that was Wendy's. But I'm going to try and get away with leaving everything back here except for the ladder, but we'll see. And but anyway, that's the view from the back. Like I said, we had so much problem with rats here. Oh God, it was terrible. And you could even see I put a cinder block up on the wall over there, try and get them, stop them from going over crawling over, but I don't think it ever helped. We used to catch them. I think at one time I was putting traps down. How many times I got my finger caught in the trap. Never really helped. But yeah, but I remember when we first moved here, there was nothing back there as far as the houses went, and then they just went up like toothpicks all over the place, and John would scream from the top window and like an animal, as usual. I'm going to go in the house and lock the door now. And this thing, the biggest pain in the ass, constantly broke, never stayed. Don't know why, but that was another one of the deterrents. And this thing, every time I come, I have to fix it because the people that come and look at the house, they look at it, they open it, they don't close it, they leave it open, the things fall down, I have to pick them back up. But anyway, this is the house, and I miss it in a way. I got some kind of attachment here, but I just got such mixed emotions with the house, and I don't know why. But that's it. And and this one we had Fode. This one here. Yeah, this one Fode, and then Roseanne bought me a picture of the Last Supper, and that hung there. And no matter what I did to straighten that picture, it just kept getting crooked and crooked, and I could never really get it the way that I wanted it. But and I still have the picture. I won't get rid of that. And I'm gonna back away. A lasting view, but a lot of cooking and a lot of entertaining, playing, holidays, and sometimes good, sometimes bad. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. We never really used the front door a lot. Mostly the boys did because they didn't have a garage clicker or something. Everybody was just too lazy to go out and spend $35 for two of them. And that I built, I don't know, a couple of years ago. We had all these boxes in the garage, and I said, hey, what's underneath there? And we found out what was underneath there. There was a lot of dead scorpions and whatnot, and but anyway, we put that together, and this was the house. I miss it sometimes, but a little anger set in when selling it. I mean, you get angry when it don't sell, and then when it does sell, you get angry. And I think the house in Staten Island was much more homier. I was much more happier there. And that was just a bad move, bad decision. I could have changed our lives a lot differently there, but I didn't. And that's about it. I took all the stuff down. I have it all, though. I didn't throw anything away. That's about it. And this is our house at 8127 Cheerful Valley Avenue.